there are enough people sort of interested in what I'm doing here that I think I'll continue with this a little bit for another day or two. For one thing, I want to get all these dishes back up and out of the way. But the weather's going to be warmer, and I really have to do some stuff. Really have to do some stuff in the barn. But it's still cold this morning, so I'm going to go up here and show you, see how far I can get it for just a while. I wanted to show you that the brick. I've got one kind of brick called Maryland, and I have about 7 of them. They're slightly bigger and they're smoother. Mount Savage. What I did was I used a pencil to reveal the print better. That's what almost all of these are, Mount Savage. And once I have them done, I'll probably take a pencil so that people can have an easier time making it out. Now, I've got some bricks like this one, which I think is a slight wedge. I don't know if you can see that. It's a slight wedge. And it says Super Rack, and I don't know what this stands for. I haven't been able to figure it out. Now, it's cracked. But I have a limited number of them that are wedges. And I want to show you more about what I can do with wedge-shaped bricks later. These are another kind of brick. I think that's the only ones I have of them. They're not stamped, really. They're slightly smaller. Maybe I can use them. And I don't really know what these are. I mean, they're from inside a furnace, almost certainly. And other fire brick rest on them here. All right, and now I've begun to try to establish a good level place for the shelves. The thing is, I'm only one of these tiles thick there, and well, here I'm only one. No. Here I'm 3 stacked up there, and here I think 2. Yeah, 2. So I may have to deal with that. I'm not sure. Well, that stainless steel plate is almost perfectly level, and that's what I wanted. I thought maybe I wanted it sloping inward a little bit, like the floor does a lot, but I think I should make it perfectly level in case I'm like frying an egg in a pan and it would stay in the middle instead of going to one side. But the corner where maybe you can see the little level, that is slightly, very slightly low, and I was going to raise it like I did the other side underneath here. Let's see if I can use it. I have 3 shims. I'm using those as shims. Over here I only have 2. So I thought, well, I'll put 3 shims here, but that made it slightly too high. So what do? Shims smaller than that. Well, here's my solution. I've done it often. I'll use washers. I can either use washers like thick ones like this, and I may. It goes out of the light. There's even a kind of washer that you rarely see anymore called hillside washers. None of these are all flat washers. Or fender washers. Maybe you can see them. I'm not sure. I'll probably start using a couple of them and see how it looks. But anyway, that's my final shim. Remember, I don't use mortar, and usually mortar is steadily used to do shimming. Okay, what I did was I used one of these thicker washers, just one, and I put it underneath there. Wait, let me get the light. Oh, there you can see it. I got to line them up, but that made it just right. I think you can see that. So now this one side is perfectly level. This side also perfectly level. The back perfectly level. All right, good. Well, the upper is stacked back on the lower of the Kachelofen, and it's as ever. I mean, there's improvements to be made, but I got the dishes all back stacked, every one of them actually. And I'll get up and I'll show you, I'll give you a little bit better look at it. Tux is done. The other 4 cats are eating their supper. I'm not sure if I have to explain much. You know, this is the flue, and kind of balancing out that, at least visually, is this dish. It's the only one that I have. I've managed to maintain symmetry. I try to through most of it, and in many places I've used washers, flat washers, because the corners aren't good on these bricks. You know, if you, well, there'll never be another Kachelofen like this one built. But if you wanted to use the principles involved, I mean, if you had new bricks that had good corners and were square, you really wouldn't have to do much shimming at all. But anyway, that once again is a stopping spot. But I probably won't stop.